time. We all know malaria. Most of us have had malaria once in our times, in our life. Because we think we know malaria, we say, oh, it's just simple malaria. So you don't scientifically prescribed behavior. You don't go for test and treatment. Even when you are given a treatment, when fever falls down, you think you are completely healed and you stop completing the treatment. We have been fighting to increase the availability of control measures such as insecticide-treated nets. When you look at the population having access to bed nets and the population using bed nets, there's no comparison. In Ghana, access is around 80%, but use is around 50%. You see that big gap, that means people are not participating and collaborating with what is supposed to be done to fight malaria.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sid. So, one of our guest speakers mentioned community engagement as a key intervention when it comes to zero malaria. You have also mentioned the fact that as population, our behavior seems to also have a toll on this. Now, in recent times, when it comes to both infectious diseases and then non-communicable diseases, there's a paradigm shift towards prevention. So let me pick your mind a little. What can we do as a people? Again, you also mentioned the financial aspect, the amount of money that we sink into buying drugs, sink into developing diagnostic tools that are more sensitive than what we have. So what can we do as a people in terms of prevention?
We have tools for preventing malaria. Let me list a few that Ghana is currently using. We have a bed net. We have indoor residuary spraying, which consists of spraying residuary insect on the walls inside the house. We have seasonal malaria chemo prevention, where we support the administration of actual treatment to children during the rainy season in areas which are recommended for that activity. In Ghana now we are in 7 regions supporting that activity. We have intermittent preventive treatment among pregnant women, which is also actual treatment with cefadoxime and permetamine for pregnant women from 16 weeks of gestation up to delivery. Those are like the basic scientifically proven methods. There is also labor source management in which government is putting money. It is also accepted as a very efficacious measure for prevention. So those are measures for prevention. But I go back to where I started. The most important message is you have all those measures. The key to get them used and succeed is the population. So whatever you bring to the community, if the community is not aware of why you're bringing it and how to use it, you will not achieve what you want to achieve.
Thank you so much. So in a nutshell, in a minute or two, Mr. Sid, what is your take-home message for those of us here in terms of ensuring zero malaria?
Believe. Believe that you can defeat malaria. That is my essential message. Because if you believe this can be done, you think about the way to do it, and you think about the way to achieve it. But if you're not in belief that you can defeat malaria, don't sit with us. If you're sitting here, I expect you to be believing that you can defeat malaria.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, That is our take-home message, that as a population, we should believe that we'll be able to defeat malaria. We have access to all the preventive measures. We have also heard of policies geared towards ensuring that we develop other targeted interventions to ensure zero malaria. Thank you so much for being part of this discussion.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. I think we can still give it up for our speakers. They've done so well. That was an in-depth analysis and so much speaks to eradicate. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please let's put our hands together for them again. That was, I don't know about you, but I learned a lot from the presentation and all that. And they deserve it while they're here. So we want to proceed, and with that, we'll have a state of the department lab from Dr. Ekwa Obin Fosu, the HOD of Medical Lab Sciences. Please let's put our hands together for Madam.
It's supposed to be a very simple. It's supposed to be a very simple presentation about the state of the facilities we use to train our students. We've been talking about capacity building from the beginning of the program. And in talking about capacity building, reaching out to the community, almost everyone here is a student or will be a student if you're not in school. And in order to do that, we need to improve our training practices. So this is just, it's not too encouraging, but just so that people here will know what our state, our current position is. And going forward, I'll be coming to most dignitaries, their doorsteps, to solicit for help to train my people. So, sorry about this. We are having a little technical challenge. It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes and we are done. Is it done?
Very unfortunate, we have some technical challenges, so we'll take that as an opportunity to receive a musical interlude from our troupe here. didn't mention I was a good dancer. You wasn't expecting it. Sorry. So, unfortunately, we have come to the end of the musical interlude, and thank you very much. We'll proceed with Dr. Akwa Obeng-Fosun, the HOD of Medical Lab Sciences, to give us the state of our department. Please, let's put our hands together for.
So, who is controlling it? So currently, it looks a little better because the GAMS, the Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Sciences, have painted it. So this is an old presentation, but we currently have a new outlook. So please go forward quickly. Oh, good. So this is one of our labs, and this is microbiology lab, and this is where we train malaria diagnosis. And we have some of the microscopes there. We got some equipment from West African Center of Genetic Training, which is also displayed. Please, can you go forward a bit? The next slide. So this is one of our labs. Apparently, the microscopes or the microtomes, that is for pathology training. Some are working, but I have 80% not working. And that is because over the years, either it has not been, I don't know. The students themselves are also a part to play, have a part to play. So over the years, some of them have gone bad and they've not been replaced. So going forward, I'll be coming to your doorsteps and I'll keep knocking because it's a joint effort. I need students well trained because I myself, I have kids. And who knows, maybe you might take your mother or your sister or your brother to the hospital for diagnosis. If my students who is at the lab is not well trained, definitely, if you have malaria, they will say no MPC. Meanwhile, it's because you were not well trained to identify it. So it's just a short presentation to say this is the current state and I'll be coming forward to solicit, not money, but if you can just buy the physical equipment, I'll be happy to take it to teach. So thank you so much for your time and thank you so much for coming once again.
Thank you very much, Dr. Akua. Please, let's put our hands together for her once again.
Just as Prof. Akua said, there is so much blessing in giving. So when she knocks on your door, I do hope that you respond positively. Thank you. We'll move on to taking the solidarity messages. Most of our speakers have joined us. And we want to take one from the chief programmer. All right, we want to take one from the president of GAMSA, who is Dr. Abudu Rahman. Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Good morning to everyone. I'm sure it's still morning, or it's afternoon now. Yeah, excuse me. Normally, the line between morning and afternoon is quite thin, especially with such programs. Let me first and foremost send greetings from the National Executive Council of the Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists. It's important for us to be here on such a beautiful occasion. We always say that our mandate as a professional body is to make sure that the practice of medical laboratory sciences is taken to the highest level. And as much as possible, the profession will continue to do what it takes to ensure that the profession gets everyone to the level that we all aspire to be. Now, as students, it's important for you to know the profession you find yourself in. And I'm very sure if I should put up some questionnaire right now, majority of you may not be able to give us the kind of answers we want to elicit from your end. But we understand because once in school, you are more concerned about how to write your exams and how to pass, and then graduate and get out of the system and see how best to position yourself. HOD has spoken about the need to support, and I don't know, HOD, well, I have not contacted her though, but then it's something that the profession has been thinking about on how to help in putting the state of the laboratory in a shape that we all feel better for ourselves. As an alumni of the institution, I've been through that system. I've used the lab, and when you go there currently, it is not the same as we used it before. And so the profession will try and work together with the department and see how best we can put it to the state that we all wish we wanted to see. It's also important that as student body, you understand that once you graduate, there are certain things that you are required to do. And we've often received feedback, especially those who will be in the system who have not been employed by the Ministry of Health or the Ghana Health Service, because the Allied Health will require you to continue to renew your license. Whether you have work or not, you are required by regulation to be in good standing every particular year. And for every year that you have to be in good standing, you need to have your CPD points, which as medical laboratory scientists, you are required to have about 20 CPD points. And you can imagine someone who has graduated still looking for a placement or still looking for a job, and it's even required to renew the license and be in good standing. And so the profession has looked at it, and we have indicated that as student body, you are expected to belong to your federation, and you are supposed to meet certain requirements based on your MELSA regulation. All students who pass out, who are in good state or good standing with their federation, the profession has taken it that we are going to ensure that until you get your work, all the CPD points that you are required to renew your license, the profession will give it to you free of charge without the need to pay anything. Because we believe that that is the only way we can be able to help you to stay the course whilst ensuring that you get a very good job to do. And so please, we want to plead with you, those of you who are not in good standing with MELSA, please make sure that you do that, so that in the end, you wouldn't come out and complain, especially the final year students. And so let's all work together and uplift the image of the profession that we find ourselves. There are a number of things that are ongoing currently, and I'm sure most of you might have heard of last week's strike action by the Medical Laboratory Workers Union. That is the union that works for the professional body. It is important that we position ourselves in that for so many years, the medical laboratory professions have never had a condition of service for ourselves. We work under another union that goes with the other grouping to negotiate a condition, not specifically for medical laboratory scientists, but normally to the allied health group. This is the first time we are ever going to have a condition of service that is specifically to our professional cadre. And as such, it's important for you to know that your forebearers are working very hard to ensure that when you pass out and you come in, you will come and meet a profession that is lucrative enough, that is giving you the kind of money that and support or economic benefits that will make you feel very happy to belong to the profession. We are getting to a space where we do not want to force anybody to belong to the profession. And as a professional body, we keep on saying, please, we only want people who are interested, because the profession is a noble profession. You must love it to be in. There is no profession that has no challenges. But if the challenges are going to cause you to have negative thinking or negative way of looking at the profession, we always say it is not by force that you have to belong to the profession. Some of us have been practicing for the past 25 years, and we are still in it. We did not have the advantage that you had. We started from the lowest level, and a lot are now professors, others are doctors, others are what you call specialist consultants. And so we think that as we all work together in order to improve the state of the profession, you also have to come in and play your role. But we want people who love the profession. And so please take note of it and look inward and ask yourself whether you are truly in the profession that you want to be. If that is where you want to be, you are welcome. And we are going to do everything as a professional body to help you and make sure that every program that we do, this year, November, we are going to have our National Congress in the Bono region, Sunyani specific, okay, Uzbek Hotel. Please take time, all right, and we'll speak to UG Melsa to ensure that some students are able to come. This is the platform where you can be able to know, hear, and be able to contribute, because at Congress, it doesn't matter whether you're a student, whether you're a professional body. When we get to Congress, we are all the same. We do not look down on anybody. You can come there, ask all the questions that you want to ask. That will help you to understand the profession in which you find yourself. So let's work together and let's ensure that everything that we need to do, we do our various respective parts. When it comes to malaria, I was very glad to see our malaria coordinator outside. The profession has been working with the National Malaria Elimination Program, and we are currently doing what we call, each region we expect to have a WHO classified microscopist, so that when it comes to malaria specialty, there will be 1 or 2 people who can be asked to examine malaria slides anywhere from any country. Currently, we have a few of them, and this opportunity exists for every student who comes out. We will help and continue so that the examination which is being run, normally they go to Kenya to go and do the examination. You are able to also join, so that at least when it comes to malaria examination, you can be an expert in that particular field. And so I was very glad for the topic that has been chosen, and I will say that we will continue and push for us to get what needs for everyone to get in terms of our profession. The college is on, and we are gradually churning now. By next year, we'll churn out the first group that will graduate. And so the opportunity is bright out there. And so we want you to look beyond today, because the future is very bright for all of us. So I wouldn't want to continue talking plenty, because if you give me the time, I'll talk for the next 1 hour. Thank you very much, and enjoy the day.
Please let's put our hands together again for Doc. We wish we could have given him that 1 hour to talk, but unfortunately we need to proceed so we get all our solidarity messages. Next on our list, we have to take a message from the Chief Programmer Officer of Allied Health, Ministry of Health, and he is Dr. Ignatius Awinponi. He is also the President of UG Medilab Alumni Connect. Let's put our hands together for sir.
Thank you very much. I want to acknowledge our protocol. Can see my senior colleagues here, King Dave, members from the political angle as well. I can see our development partners also joining us, faculty members, student leaders. I want to acknowledge all of you, all patrons of the laboratory profession and the UG Melsa. I want to say I bring you greetings from the Minister for Health, from the Chief Director, as well as my office. For the first time, an office has been created by the President of the country that is supposed to oversee policy issues related to the Fraternity of Allied Health, which is currently about 23 professions and still counting. So at the ministry, we have a director for nursing and midwifery. We have a director for medical and dental. We have a director for pharmacy, pharmaceutical services, all the rest, and the allied health. That includes the lab. So my role is to provide policy direction in that. And so as alumni, it's very critical that we organize ourselves as students who have passed through the school. I remember we came to school in 2002 as a new entrance. We're just about 27 for our batch. King Dave was there at that time with our Goliath, Professor Redu. We had to start from the beginning, set up the Constitution, do the first health week. That was done in 2004, launched at the Teachers' Hall. Those days, internet was just coming. It's not now, it's very common all over the place. So we're trying to put ourselves together. And it's just like pregnancy. When it comes out, you see it fully. And we can't hide ourselves. But let me assure you that there's something happening in the background to be able to support the effort of faculty in bringing up the younger ones and giving them hope. So I want to congratulate faculty members for the sacrifice that you are making. In spite of all the challenges that I saw in the background, in terms of facilities, you are doing your best. Let me let you know that theory is not practical. When I was looking at malaria parasites in the book, the first time I saw it under a microscope, that was 1996, when we came to LabTech. I was looking to see what I saw in the book, but it's not like that. Our work is a work of skill. It's not just theory. I remember we went on some agitation. Some people entered the lab. They thought they could do the blood grouping. And when the saline got finished, they couldn't prepare saline. More is the cheapest reagent we prepare in the lab. So our work is a work of skill. Don't take whatever you are learning for granted. That's what is dear to my heart, that faculty is embarking on this, so that we can have the necessary tools to be able to give you the skill, matched with what? The theory, so that we can come out as professionals who can hold the fort and be able to provide clinical leadership when it comes to our area of practice. Laboratory practice has become mainstream. Before COVID, it was like a peripheral practice. But now, evidence-based practice is hinged on laboratory practice. And without it, you cannot be able to manage disease conditions. So just to assure that you are in a noble profession, and you should take it very, very seriously. The brain, the science brain is very big, and it can venture anywhere. I've seen it, and I can testify. So just to encourage you that this is very important. The team you have chosen is very relevant to us. Community engagement and how it can be leveraged to eliminate malaria. Every community is unique. We have different types of communities. And if you don't take into consideration the culture and the feelings of the people, there is no way you can get them as partners to develop your place. Certainly, you require community engagement to be able to improve their participation in your efforts. Without community engagement, you cannot have community participation. Without community engagement, you cannot have ownership of whatever activity you are doing. So they will be detached. Without community engagement, you cannot even have sustainability of your initiatives in terms of malaria elimination. And these are critical. And it begins from the point of planning through to the point of what? Resource mobilization, through to the point of what? Even implementation, monitoring and evaluation. So we need that to be able to succeed if we want to say zero malaria by 2030, which is very much in line with the global strategy for elimination of malaria by WHO. So, and I'm happy because as young scientists, we are taking interest in what is happening in the world, even before we don our work GS to go into work. And that is very, very important. And not only that, you are getting involved, you are also serving as agents of what? Advocacy. And I think that should be another plus for you in looking at this. Regularly, we would have thought that laboratory people are people who will be in their corner just doing testing. But you now have a very important public health role beyond the clinical role. So conscientize yourself that you have a public health mandate as well as a clinical health mandate, and then apply yourself to it. And that is very, very important so that we will be able to have a successful agenda in eliminating malaria by 2030. I can only say that I want to call on all of us to be able to support. Probably, if we had planned it well, we should have launched a fund here. Okay? That will let everybody contribute into it. All right, sometimes even your one CD is significant to be able to bring about a change and transform the facilities that we have. Some people can even give more than that. As an alumni, we'll consider it very strongly and move towards that direction. And once that is done, we would look at also getting everybody involved. You can sacrifice your breakfast and then put it there. And whatever we put together will still benefit you and posterity to come. I would want to say that we have your back as alumni. We're concerned about how you are trained. We're waiting for you in the field. When you come back on rotation, on practice, we have committed to support you and give you the necessary skills that will make it and the public health arena. I would just want to say I'm happy in this gathering, and I wish us all the best. Congrats once again, congratulations. I think you deserve an applause for yourself. Thank you so much.
It's not only us that deserve an applause. Sir also deserves a round of applause. We are continuing with our solidarity messages, and we were just joined by Dr. Edward Ampofo. He's a representative from Ghana Cocoa Board, who is currently going to give us a solidarity message on behalf of Honorable Joseph Boahene Edu. So Dr. Edward Ampofo, you are welcome. Kindly let's have your solidarity message. I guess Doc left us a moment ago, and he will join us. He is being called. Please let's put our hands together for sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Edward Ampofo. I'm standing here on behalf of our Chief Executive of the Ghana Cocoa Board, Honorable Joseph Boahene Edu, who for one reason or the other is unable to be here. He would have wished to be here because this symposium is so important to him. It's important to him because of the role cocoa can play in our quest to protect ourselves against malaria. And I'm sure in the moment I mentioned cocoa, a number of you here will be wondering, to what extent can cocoa play a role in our quest to protect ourselves against malaria? But what is happening now, even in the international community, is what cocoa really can contribute to healthcare. So if you only know cocoa as the cash crop of Ghana, which it has been so for several years, today, if you didn't know, just know that when it comes to healthcare and safeguard of our health, cocoa can play a significant role. I'm sure some of you may have wondered why sometimes you may have 2 or 3 people exposed to the mosquito, the vector that causes malaria, but someone will come down with malaria, the other person will not come down with malaria. And you will all say that, oh, you were both or you were all at the same place, you all slept, virtually observed the same activity, how come that one came down, one did not come down? And apart from the vector and apart from the parasite, what you have to know is that our immune system plays a significant role in our vulnerability towards infections. And so, if you understand this properly, I'm sure by the time you leave here, and even before when you get home, the message you would give to other people is that today where I went to, what I heard was that cocoa, and at this point I'm talking about what we call the polyphenol-rich cocoa, or the flavonol-rich cocoa. These agents have been found to have immune-boosting properties. And so you will find some in tea, you will find some in apples, you will find some in, but in terms of the antioxidant properties of cocoa, it's about 2 to 3 times that you have in tea. So if you are consuming tea, for example, I'm not saying this to belittle tea, but if you are consuming tea, for example, for its health benefits, then you might as well consume cocoa, and that will even give you far more health benefits than that. Now, because it boosts our immune system, because they found out that in malaria infection, one of the key roles is the ability of the immune system to be compromised. So even if you get transmitted with the malaria parasites, and your immune system is very strong, you are not likely to come down or to succumb to the malaria infection. And so the argument is that if then you are consuming cocoa in adequate amounts every day, then you are protected against malaria infection. And since we know that prevention is always better than cure, it means that if you are someone that is consuming cocoa every day, then you are not likely to easily succumb to malaria infection. And this is something that many people are not aware of, but it is something that has been found to be true. Some research has been carried out at the University of Ghana, Professor Dai, and all, they will testify to that. There are quite a number of research papers. What they are now trying to find out is how cocoa is able to safeguard the immune system against malaria infection. Today we are talking about malaria, so I'll limit it to malaria. But some of us, what we have found out is that from your head to the toe, there is no disease condition that cocoa consumption cannot protect you against. So one of the things that we as Cocoa Board want to share with you is that when you leave here, wherever you go to, tell your colleagues, if you have not made it a habit of consuming cocoa every day, make it a habit to consume it, and it will protect you and safeguard your health against malaria infection. I'm sure some of you are wondering, is it the sweet chocolate that we have to consume in copious amounts and protect ourselves against malaria infection? No. The cocoa we are talking about is the natural cocoa, or the polyphenol-rich cocoa. If it's a cocoa powder, what people refer to as a bitter cocoa. If it's the chocolate, what people refer to as a dark chocolate. And in this regard,
Anis is a seasoned professional with over 23 years experience in both the healthcare and business field. She has an MBA with ANES, a BA with ANES, and she's currently the vice chair of COWIC Community Features. Over the years, she has won numerous awards and have traveled across various country businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly lend us your ears as we listen to the solidarity message from Ms. Janice John Mitchell, a practice nurse prescriber at Canada. She's joining us through Zoom, so you can watch that on this space. Thank you. Let's put our hands together in appreciation for her presence.
Hi. I believe it's afternoon now in Ghana. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. Greetings to our guest, our honored, special honored guest. Let me know if anyone is hearing me. I'm not sure if I'm being heard. Okay. I think Bernard is saying I am being heard. Bernard, just let me get another thumbs up if that is the case, and then I can start.
Yes, please, you can hear you. You can go ahead.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Okay. I'm going to speak on the economic burden of malaria today. And I have a few slides, but I opened the phone, Skype on the phone rather than on my computer. Local business operations and factors lending to economic burden from malaria infection. Ghana launched its National Malaria Strategy Plan, which I coined as an NMES 2024 to 2028 this year. I'm going to discuss how NMES aligns to economic development while examining the need for a grassroots approach, as well as intersectional collaboration. Definitions that we would be looking at throughout this presentation that I want others to keep in mind would be GDP, human capital, foreign direct investment, and disposable income. Ghana economic statistic for 2022 state Ghana is classified as a middle income. Ghana's GDP was 73.77%. Their GDP per capita was 2,203.6, and their growth GDP growth annual was 3.1. Unemployment total was 31.3%. Records show malaria affect young kids under 5, pregnant women, and older adults more. And what happened, I think, in 2023, in 2023, a decrease of malaria parasite prevalence in children younger than 5 from 20.6. There was a decrease from 20.6 in 2016 to 8.6 by 2023. According to the Ghana Demographic Health Survey, that is a significant decrease. A reduction in patient audited in 2022, another significant milestone for Ghana, recorded for Ghana. A summary of the economic burdens caused by malaria would be decrease in foreign investment and tourism. Malaria places a financial strain on the healthcare system, increasing government spending and funds. Business, under the business sector, there's a decrease in productivity and revenue. Under the education system, there's increased absenteeism. This hinders cognitive development and in the long run disrupts learning. It reduces productivity and economic growth as well in the long run. Under the household, malaria can cause deficit or decrease in disposable income. That is the ability for a family or for a person to have free money to spend after paying taxes and paying for personal things like your basic needs, household, food, and all of that. There's also a decrease in human capital. Debt hindering both short-term and long-term, as well as debt hindering both short-term and long-term growth. At the end of it all, there is a reduction in the gross domestic product as well as employment rate. Malaria, prevalence of malaria and the effects and burden of malaria on the society causes a lot. Under the foreign investors section, the burdens of malaria causes it reduces foreign direct investment, net inflow. It reduces the appeal for target firms and foreign investors' ability to see local companies as being attractive enough to invest. It affects local businesses, especially in malaria-prevalent communities. This discourages businesses from investing and from creating new businesses. It impedes business development. It increases spending on malaria preventative measures, and it decreases productivity and human capacity. So malaria causes a cascading effect on households from an economic standpoint, both short and long term. Malaria affects immediate funding needs of a family and could later on affect the ability for the family to contribute to society. These effects eventually have led to economic burden. Negative effects on the household, as we mentioned, medical complication arising from long-term effects of malaria on the body at any age, from baby to adults. Sadly, death is a reality. What do the effects on the house look like? What could this look like, and how could this equate to economic burden? Let us consider the implication of a disruption in education or missed educational opportunities, affecting human capacity and productivity in the following years after malaria infection. Could this be one reason for steady economic decline despite the advances made with malaria research and technology? Issues with long-term illness deriving from malaria infection and the need for medical care would place an extra financial burden on families. That is understandable, more so when the breadwinner is affected and in some cases, unable to return to work. This would result in less expendable or disposable income to circulate the country. This further gives rise to poverty. Expendable or disposable income increases the society's overall consumption. And I am referring to the consumers. Leads to folks either investing money or spending money, thereby encouraging business acceptance. It would give health. Let's talk a little bit about social determinants of health. Language and literacy, safe housing, and mobility. These above mentioned play a vital role in the prevention of malaria and should not be neglected. The ability to access quality health care would increase the curative measures against malaria when disseminating information. Language and literacy play a pivotal role in ensuring the message is communicated. This must be done at a person's point of need, meaning they should be approached according to their level of understanding. Considering their cultural and traditions must be a priority. For example, the way they may interpret malaria infection as a common event, the use of traditional medication, and reasons for vaccine hesitation. Safe housing should be considered. You want to make sure that homes are there's a barrier for vector invasion, things like nets and meshes. The determinants of economic health, we'll talk about the GDP here. The GDP of a country tends to increase that domestic product
Thank you very much, sir. You've been a very wonderful chairperson for our program, for the 12th Scientific Conference. Wow, 12 years. Please, let's put our hands together for Eugene Melsa. That year after year after year, we've put this together. I've been privileged to attend. This will be my 6th scientific conference. Yeah, 6th scientific conference, please. They've done well over the years. We'll now invite the former FG Melsa president. The FG Melsa president has spoken. We'll now invite the former FG Melsa president to give us a vote of thanks. He's the person of Mr. Isaac Ofosu. We all know him as 5-star. Please, let's put our hands together for him as he counts for the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much. Wow, it's always great to be home. And it's always great to find ourselves among the future of the healthcare profession, especially in the medical laboratory space. All right, I nearly said hallelujah. In all, we give thanks to the Almighty God for the life He's given us and for this opportunity, and also give thanks to the chairperson, Dr. David Nana Ajay, and big thanks to all our guests and our special guest of honors that honored this invitation to make this event a success and impacted in us this knowledge, and then also spiking in us a call of action in our quest to empower and empower communities, and in our quest to eliminate malaria, calling for a zero malaria in Ghana. We also thank the executives who put all these together to bring all of us here together to make this program a success and to empower ourselves. We also say a very big thank you to all institutional heads, all faculty members, all ambassadors and high commissioners present. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, you all here that made it to make this program a success. Give yourself a very big round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our former president, for your service to our association.
All right, so finally, we can say that we've landed. Yeah, please, let's put our hands together for ourselves. I think you are one of the best passengers we have on board so far. Yeah, today was my first. I think we've enjoyed your company also in our flight. Not another amen.
Actually, he has a church program, so he presumes we are in the church already.
Yeah, I'm practicing for the evening. I have a program at church, so yeah.
So I will be taking the closing prayer. All and sundry, we thank the Almighty God for being with us. We have to give due cognizance. So let us be in the mode of prayer. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Arrahmanir rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amin. Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa ghfir lana warhamna. Oh Allah, thank you very much for being with us here, for making sure that our program is a success. We give you honor, we give you adoration, we give you the glory. Take glory, for you are the Lord that has been with us from the beginning to the end. And on this note, we thank you for being a loving God and blessing each and every one as we have learned and will continue to learn by your grace and mercies. Thank you for your endless favor upon our lives. Amen.
So once again, my name is Boateng Vincent Joe. I was your MC, and I was here with.
And my name is Alhassan Rahina Tuna. I was your MC too. And we can't come here without taking pictures for memories. So we are going to just tell ourselves the order of the pictures. First of all, we want the dignitaries to take pictures with the organizer. That's UG Melsa organizers. So our dignitaries will take pictures with our organizers over here. So it is in that order. When I mention your group, I mean you come along and we proceed with that. Thank you very much.
Please, the Eugene Melsa president and executives outside, kindly come inside.
The schools that are here, kindly bear with us. We would want you to take pictures too. Just a record of your presence. I don't know if your teachers are calling. Executives of Melsa, please be with us. We have Accra Technical University.
So please,
Please join
they will
us.
join our dignitaries for the last shots, please. We plead of you.
We
Doc.
plead.
ATU, please hurry up.
ATU, please come on stage and have a picture with our dignitaries. I'm impressed by the presentation from ATU. Thank you very much for coming here.
UG Melsa members, please be getting ready, okay? As they walk, then you also come.
UG Melsa, please let's have you on stage. Please, let's be quick about that.
Let's be snappy about that. Then Clentaps, please get ready. Students from Clentaps, kindly get ready. will take from Clentaps. Clentaps, please. That's the
Clentaps,
last
please,
one.
let's have you.
The last one we'll take from Clentaps.
Clinton, please, let's have you on stage. Maybe